Blazing at 91, it is Wednesday, and as usual, we take a pause for health healing and Hampton Roads. Now, today we're going to talk about a lot more about Hampton Roads, and we're joined by the Surfrider Foundation, John Weber, who is actually the regional manager of the Surfrider Foundation, who will give us a national overview on everything that is going on, and Victor Enriquez, he's pretty much the local guy that's right here in the 757 that's dealing with the cleanup, a coordinator for the Surfrider Foundation. Gentlemen, welcome to Health Healing at Hampton Roads.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Now, John, let's talk about the national program real quick. Let's talk about the overall mission of the Surfrider Foundation.
Sure thing, Doug. Surfrider Foundation is dedicated to the protection and the enjoyment of the world's oceans, waves, and beaches for all people. So that means we're working on a lot of things like beach access, we're working on water quality, we're working to prevent plastic pollution and make sure we're preserving our coastal resources as well as offshore resources. And it's a nationwide organization. There's a chapter in most coastal states. There's a great chapter in Virginia. And one of the things that they're working on particularly is beach cleanups. It's a very popular program with Surfrider Foundation. We are fighting plastic pollution on other levels, like trying to pass laws to prevent plastic pollution, but to deal with what's out there, we're doing a lot of beach cleanups, and that's actually what Victor knows a lot about.
I gotcha. And John, I was noticing from the website that you have a lot of different things going on across the whole entire organization from coast to coast. So this is pretty much an organization that has been in existence for how long?
So Surfrider Foundation's about 36 years old. I'm doing the math in my head. Now, we were founded in 1984. And then shortly thereafter went to a chapter structure. So it's headquartered in California, in Southern California, where it was formed. But like I said, there's chapters in most coastal states, and the Virginia chapter has been around for a good long time now, probably over 20 years.
Yes, because Virginia is one of those major tourism areas, and Virginia Beach particularly is a major tourism destination for the beaches all the way through Norfolk, up through Williamsburg area. So the Hampton Roads area definitely has a lot of beaches, right, Victor?
Yes, we do. We have tons of beaches. We got North End, Oceanfront, Croatan, Dam Neck, and Sandbridge.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us locally what is going on, with the foundation here locally.
Well, with Surfrider Foundation, I'm the beach cleanup coordinator, and actually once a month, every third Saturday from 9 to 11:30 a.m., we have a beach cleanup. This month's cleanup for August coming up will be at the DeWitt Cottage, and we'll actually provide supplies, and we have data sheets that gives you an actual breakdown of the things that we collect, and it goes into our national database. So we're excited to see everybody, and anybody is welcome, and we will provide everything that you need. Our last cleanup, we actually picked up 116 pounds worth of trash.
Wow. That is a lot that's pretty much going into the waterway.
Yeah, eventually, wherever trash lands with the winds, it's going to carry it somewhere, and if it's not in a receptacle, it's going to end up either in the ocean, land, or some animal eating it. So it's really important that we take time to focus to get these things out of there.
Now, gentlemen, when you're looking at, cleaning up the ocean ways and the beaches, how much pollution do you really start to find, where it affects the quality of life?
Well, I can take that one. If what Victor just mentioned is this beach cleanup data card. We've been doing beach cleanups since the beginning, but probably 5 or 6 years ago, it occurred to us, we should really quantify what we're collecting, hence the data card. So literally, as you're picking up trash off the beach, you're counting, how many cigarette butts, how many plastic bottle caps, how many plastic bags, how many, whatevers. And so that we have that data, we have that number. As Victor said, it all goes into a national database, beach cleanup database. So we can actually, just like Victor just did, he could tell you how many pounds of trash they picked up in their last cleanup. That's really valuable information. We can take that kind of information to municipalities, towns, cities, and say, use it to solve problems. We could say, hey, you need to put more cigarette butt receptacles at this beach because we're finding hundreds of cigarette butts, just as an example.
Okay, gotcha. So, a few years ago, I know that, it was real major about cleaning up the Chesapeake Bay area and making sure that the pollution and stuff that was going, the plastic ware, even down to Buckrow as well as to Virginia Beach itself. Are you seeing that people are becoming more aware now of the environment since we have actually been in COVID?
Yeah, people are starting to get more aware as they've been looking for things to essentially do since COVID's happened. But one thing we've actually noticed also is with COVID happening, there's been more medical waste, such as, of course, trash and gloves and masks. So that's one new factor that we actually added to our Data Beach cleanup cards. But yeah, people are a lot more conscious, and we're thankful for that, and we want more people to be even more conscious.
Now, you said medical waste as well. Are you seeing stuff, come from that, on a norm here in the 757?
Yeah, we saw a really big spike in masks, gloves. And if you look at our database, it'll actually give you the breakdown, like John was saying, on our database cards, and it gives you an individual account of everything.
Yeah, if you can count PPE, personal protective equipment like masks and gloves and things like that, then if you call that medical, then yes, I wouldn't say we're seeing illegally dumped medical waste. That's actually not
right
a thing. But like Victor said, we had to add a category for PPE on this data card because there was just so much of it.
Right, exactly. Now, what are you doing as far as awareness of making things aware to the general public?
We try to reach out to everybody, and we encourage that. And we also share pictures on our social media accounts as well, so that you can view. But we try to encourage the youth more also to come out and clean up as well. If we can teach the youth, they can spread it to their friends, and more so, and that'll make a larger impact in the next 10, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, you also, besides the chapters, have student clubs as well.
Indeed. So in addition to chapters, Surfrider has probably even more student clubs than chapters across the country. It's for high schools, usually high schools and colleges. They can form a Surfrider Foundation club at that school, and they just have to do some kind of mission-based activity, and typically it would be a cleanup, decide to clean up this beach or this, waterway once a month or something like that. Naturally, with the pandemic, with schools not really in session, clubs weren't really happening, so we're going to be in a regrouping pattern with that. But we have had great success with school clubs in the past. Victor mentioned reaching out to youth, and just a few years ago, we had a program at the SeaTac Elementary School where they, every student got a reusable bag that they designed and colored themselves. And just as a way to say, we don't need to be using these plastic grocery bags, they bring home this reusable shopping bag and get the family in the habit of, just bringing your own bag. And it was very, very successful at SeaTac.
Okay, that's great. Now, let's talk about real quick legislation, because I know you're looking at going to those municipalities, but are you pushing forth any sort of lobbying legislation that can make change?
You want to take that, Victor, or you want me to?
I'll let you take that one, John.
Sure thing. So the answer to that, Doug, is it's yes, both on a local level and a national level. Surfrider Foundation doesn't have a presence in Washington, D.C., but in a grassroots kind of way, we are supporting a couple of pieces of legislation dealing with plastic pollution. For example, there's a bill called the Break Free from Plastic Pollution Act. It's very comprehensive, and a lot of the things that we would achieve on a local level, it puts them on a national level, like a national bottle deposit law to get all those plastic bottles back, and also it would be a national bag legislation like we have in so many states and so many municipalities. On a state level, we're one of many groups working to make sure that balloons, the intentional release of balloons, gets banned in Virginia. We played a role in this recent legislation about bags in Virginia. So now, if a town in Virginia wants to put a fee on plastic bags to curb their use and to encourage reusable bags, that state law passed so towns could do that. So that's probably the next step for us, just going to see which towns would want to curb the plastic bag use by putting a fee on those plastic bags.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely a good way to try to curb the use of plastic bags, and making sure that we protect the environment overall. Now, gentlemen, are there any local events that's going to be coming up that the listening audience can participate in, Victor?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, the next cleanup will be the third Saturday of August, which, like I said, that'll be from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and that'll be at the DeWitt Cottage on 11th Street, right on the oceanfront. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to see myself, and you'll see a big blue Surfrider Foundation tent. And I would be more than glad to see you and come out and help clean the beach. I'll explain everything to you. We'll provide everything, and we'll have a great time.
All right, if people want to have more information and learn more about the organization, John or Victor, either one, tell us where to go, so that way we can have people that want to volunteer or anything come to your organization.
Yeah, for sure. You can actually go to vb.surfrider.org, and that'll give you more information of our local chapter. But if you want to contact me for beach cleanups, you can reach me at beachcleanups@vb.surfrider.org. And me or myself or John or any of our local chapter members will be more than glad to answer any questions you have, and we'll reach out to you also.
There you go, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time. Any last words you'd like to leave?
Yeah, I just have one last thought, Doug, that people can, if they can't make it to a cleanup, they can help every day because you have to eat every day. We have a program called Ocean Friendly Restaurants, and these are restaurants that are committed to not using as much, things like styrofoam, plastic bags, plastic takeout stuff. And so they're really helping the environment that way. So there are a number of ocean-friendly restaurants in the Virginia Beach, in the greater Tidewater area. So people should look for them and go eat at an ocean-friendly restaurant.
There you go, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking time out and talking to us about Surfrider Foundation and the many things that you're doing to help to keep the ocean and the beaches and everything clean.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Have a great day. It's Blazing Hot 91 of Health Healing in Hampton Roads.